My name is Jordan Wilson. I'm 30 years old and I'm from Western Kentucky. I was raised in a good Christian home. I have an older brother. My parents took us both to church 3 times a week, twice on Sunday, once on Wednesday. My brother and I were both into sports growing up. Our dad was our baseball coach and basketball coach. Mom even cooked dinner for us every night. And so I had a good upbringing. But growing up, I had insecurities. So I really got into lifting weights. My dad was a weightlifter, my brother was a weightlifter, the guys on the ball team were weightlifters. And so I inevitably started lifting weights too. And I started getting a lot of results. And so when I would see those results, they kind of pushed me to work out harder. And when people saw the results, it made me want to work out harder. And so I started really obsessing over the gym and appearance and on what I looked like. And one day a guy that I had worked out with introduced me to steroids. I'd never done them before, but I thought, why not? And so I started doing those, and they did everything that they said that they would do. They made me bigger and stronger, but they also made me aggressive. I was always willing to fight, and it kind of changed my personality a little bit. So I would take the pain pills that the doctor gave me, and not only did they take the pain from my knee away, but they made me feel really good. I had all this extra energy and I felt more confident. And what I didn't know is that I was getting addicted to these pills, and I didn't know that it was happening. But he pretty much convinced me that if I could keep my stuff together, that it wasn't so bad. And after several times of asking, I thought, why not? Let's give it a run. And I did it. The first time I did it, I loved it. I was hooked. So from this point on, now I'm physically addicted to Suboxone. I'm doing Suboxone. I'm doing 30, I'm doing 1 a day, 30 a month. Of course I'm smoking spice, of course I'm drinking, of course I'm still juicing. But now I've got the taste for speed. I've got, I'm starting my addiction to crystal meth. And now it really starts to spiral out of control. Now I'm starting to date a girl who sells crystal meth, and I'm doing it every day. We started shooting up together, and now I don't even have a regular life. Now anybody who's coming into my house is either a drug addict or a drug dealer. My life's just complete chaos. I'm going for weeks at a time without sleeping, and it's just crazy. Well, one day everything comes to a halt when about 9 police officers came to my house, busted down my door, put me in cuffs, and I had to go away for a while. I got caught trafficking synthetic and possession of anabolic steroids. They found a couple of empty bottles in my house, and they charged me with it. So I've got to go away for a little while, and so I do that, and I go to jail, and I'm there for months, and I get released to a program called Friends of Sinners. It's a wonderful program in Owensboro, Kentucky, but the problem with me was my heart wasn't in it. I just wanted to do this program to get out of trouble so I didn't have to go back to jail, but my heart didn't change, so nothing changed. So eventually I failed a drug test in this program, and they kicked me out, and I went back to jail. And this process just continued. It seemed forever. I'd get kicked out of a program and go back to jail, get out of jail, go to another program and get kicked out. And then during this time I lost my house, and I really don't have anything. And this process just continued and continued for years. For years I was living at people's houses, I was going to jail, I was going to rehab and getting kicked out and then strung out, and it continued and continued until one day I was driving. I've been up for about a week on crystal meth. I was out of drugs, I was out of money, and I wound up in Madisonville at my mom's house. I needed a place to crash. I knocked on her door, and she said, "Jordan, you can come in, you can stay here for a little while, but you have to go to rehab again." So I thought, all right. By this point, I'd been to rehab like 7 different times. I'd been to jail like 10 different times. nothing ever worked for me, but I needed a place to stay. So I thought, okay, I'll tell her I'll go. But the cool part about it is when I went into my mom's house, it's like the atmosphere was different. And I walked in and we sat down and she said, Jordan, I've been praying and fasting for you to give your heart back to the Lord, for you to get clean and sober. And that was on Good Friday. Well, 2 days later on Easter Sunday, I gave my heart to Jesus completely. And I've been sober ever since. We found a treatment center called the Isaiah House in Central Kentucky. I'd never heard of it. The main campus is in Willisburg, Kentucky. Never heard of that. But I looked at the website and I thought, man, this place, it looks right. Christ-centered, it was super warm and welcoming. So we went, and I committed myself. I said, you know what, Lord, I'm going to follow you even if it kills me. I'm going to follow you the rest of my life. And I went through the program and I did well. They put me on a weed eater, and I worked really hard. I sweat all day long. I came back to the facility tired, but it was really good for me because I didn't know how to work without a drug. Then after that, I guess they saw that I was pretty serious and they gave me a job as an intern working in the case management office. That's where I learned the ins and the outs of the program, where I learned everything about the Isaiah House. Eventually a spot came open at Patricia's Place, which is our Medicaid facility. It's our short-term facility where clients come in and they're usually detoxing. So I would see the clients come in broken and hurting and sick, and that's where I learned how to love on people. I taught some classes out there, led Celebrate Recovery, and I put my arm around the new guys and just welcomed them in and showed them the love of Jesus. Eventually, the CEO, Mark Lapon, heard me give a couple speeches at different graduations and things like that, and thought I'd be a good fit in PR, public relations, and that's where I've been ever since. I've been in public relations for about 2 years, and now I am the manager of the public relations office, and I love it. It's an absolute ministry. I get to go to schools and talk about drug awareness to kids. I get to give my testimony at churches, and I even get to go to the jail that I used to live at and talk to the substance abuse program inmates out there and really tell them that this life is real, that there really is hope for addiction. And so now I'm married to a beautiful woman of God who loves the Lord, and she loves me, and we're expecting our first baby. I'm going to have a son February 2019. His name is Knox, and we're very excited. And all credit, all glory goes to God, but I am forever thankful and grateful for the Isaiah House. Their motto is real hope for addiction, and I'm living proof of that. My name is Jordan Wilson, and I'm 1,039 days clean.